Have you ever wondered how often you are here and how often you are somewhere out there? I don't mean traveling. I don't mean dreaming. But about this place where your gaze goes into the screen, where you like, swipe, read other people's lives, and imperceptibly lose your own. Today, I want to talk to you not as a moralizer, but as a person who is in it himself, and what to hide, still there. Let's try to understand together. How did it happen that the virtual became real, and the real just a decoration? The internet is a mirror, distorted by thousands of algorithms. It gives instant feedback, likes, comments, reactions, and our brains fall for it like a child chasing a bubble. But behind that bubble, there's no real contact, no smell of spring, no touch of a hand, no casual conversation that is then remembered for a lifetime. Digital life imitates real life like sugar imitates taste. But the more we immerse ourselves in it, the harder it is to feel the real thing. Why do we go there? At first, it's just convenient. A little socializing, a little entertainment, a little news, a cup of coffee, and while you're drinking, you look at the feed. Just a glimpse, just to keep you up to date. But that glimpse lasts longer than you think. Another post, another clip. Someone wrote something. You have to respond. Someone has posted something important. You don't want to miss it. And then the day comes to an end, and you realize you've hardly been here, not in your room, not in the city, not with your family, but somewhere out there. And now you're already living in two dimensions. One is real, where your body is. The other is digital, where you have left your soul. But is there equality between the two? Psychologist Sherry Turkle, exploring this phenomenon in her book Alone Together, writes, "We're plugged in all the time, but we've become more lonely than ever. We went virtual to be closer, but found ourselves farther away, not just from others, from ourselves." Why is this happening? Because the virtual world seems controllable. It's safer. There you can be whoever you want to be. Control the impression. Erase the awkwardness. No pauses, no slanted glances, no pain in the voice. Just likes, messages, filters, and reactions. And you choose what to show and what to hide. You feel powerful. And in reality, you don't. Psychology calls this avoidance behavior. We withdraw from reality when it becomes too complicated, when there are conflicts, anxieties, expectations. Virtuality gives us the illusion of control and instant response, but it deprives us of the most important thing of all, authentic presence. We don't realize how easily we lose our bearings. First, the virtual is an add-on, then it's a priority, and over time, the only space where we feel alive. The illusion of participation. You flip through the screen, news, stories, reposts, chats, someone's laughing, someone's crying, someone's gone to Iceland, someone's gotten divorced. Someone writes a heartbreaking post, and you press your heart. And it seems like you're in on it too. You know, you're there. You're included. But are you really? The virtual world is genius in one thing. It knows how to create the effect of involvement without requiring anything from you in return. No time, no responsibility, no energy. Just swipe. React. Comment. You get the illusion, like you're around people, like you're in the thick of things, like you're living. But behind the screen, you're still an observer, not a player. A spectator. As the philosopher Guy Debord wrote in his book, The Society of the Spectacle, everything that used to be directly experienced now becomes a mere representation. Social networks turn life into a stream of images, and we become passive consumers of other people's emotions. We watch how others live. We participate in other people's grief and joy. But we miss the real thing. What is near us? The one who sits silently at the table. The one who has been waiting for the phone to ring. The one who gets lost in his own thoughts, not in the stores, but in the next room. You know what the tragedy is? We feel emotionally exhausted by the news feed, but we can't remember the last time we had a real conversation with our family. We're involved in the lives of hundreds of people we don't even know, but we lose contact with those who really love us. Psychologist Lawrence Cohen said, "Modern man increasingly feels himself to be a participant in events in which he has no power and an observer of his own life in which he hesitates to act." Pleasure without participation. You've opened the app, just for a moment, to see what's new. And then, one video, another, a funny video, a meme, a catchy headline, and then an hour goes by. You don't notice how. You don't remember what you watched, but it feels like you got something, like a little shot of joy. But not the deep, warm kind of joy, the fleeting kind, superficial, like a high, but without the aftertaste. That's what non-involved pleasure is. When you seem to enjoy it, but you don't invest yourself. You don't live, you consume. Not creating, but absorbed. Psychologist Mikhail Lipkovsky once said, "Modern man wants to enjoy without living. He likes the feeling of lightness, but he forgets that real pleasure is born only from the depth." And indeed, for real pleasure is not a swipe. It is a moment in which you are included entirely. A walk in the rain, laughing with a friend, tiredness after a workout, a hot meal you cooked yourself, anything that requires effort but gives you more than just an injection of dopamine. The virtual world offers the opposite: maximum comfort, minimum participation. It's fast, convenient, beautiful, but it's beauty without roots, a smile without warmth, pleasure without meaning. Why does it work like that? Because it's cheaper on the brain. Literally. Real engagement requires energy, time, risk. And virtual pleasure is like fast food for the psyche. It's bright, nourishing, but devastating. There's another side to it. We learn not to wait. We don't know how to appreciate, because everything is instantaneous. You want a smile, you open a TikTok. If you want a confession, you post a story. If you want to communicate, you send a smiley face. But it's all an imitation. You don't get closer to yourself. You don't get closer to others. In reality, to get joy, you have to put it in conversation, in deed, in attitude. You have to make mistakes. You have to try. You have to be patient. And you have to feel. And in this, as Viktor Frankl said, meaning is born. You have to ask yourself a question. Do you want an easy pleasure or a profound experience? Do you want an instant response or a real connection? Because if you want to feel life, you have to be in it, not just with your eyes, with time, with your heart, presence. Social ties without intimacy. We have more friends today than ever before. Subscribers, viewers, conversationalists in chat rooms. We're in touch 24/7. And at the same time, we feel alone. According to the Pew Research Center, about 60% of young people aged 18 to 30 admit that they regularly feel loneliness despite an active digital social life. Tadio. It's a paradox. Communication is there. Intimacy is not. Why? Because virtual communication doesn't require vulnerability. We filter words. We send only what's convenient. We don't have to reply. We can reread. rewrite. We can hide our emotions, enhance our masks. It's communication without risk, without the real self. Psychologist Sherry Turkle, author of Alone Together, writes, "We create the illusion of communication by replacing conversations with messages. But in doing so, we lose the skill of real contact. We are afraid of being seen for who we are, so we hide behind screens. Virtual life gives us a sense of presence, but not co-presence." According to a study by the University of Essex, even a smartphone lying on the table turned off during a conversation reduces the feeling of trust and understanding. Simply by its presence, it reminds, you are not here. You, in potential readiness to be somewhere else. And yet man was created for connection, for bodily, emotional, energetic contact. Just as a baby seeks a mother's touch, so an adult seeks acceptance, a look, a living presence. But instead, there is a screen and emptiness disguised as activity. You text, and you don't feel truly understood. You put out a post, and you're not waiting for a response, but just a rollback. How many likes? Who looked at it? It's no longer you communicating. It's your projection. Social networks give us a sense of participation. It feels like you're there. You know who's with who, where, when, and why. But if you remove the screen, what's left? Who will call you if you suddenly disappear? Man is not an algorithm. He feels touch, intonation, time, silence. All the things that aren't transmitted in bits. And without that, true connection withers. The illusion of achievement is when action is substituted for activity. Have you noticed how easy it is to create the appearance of progress? You reply to messages. You feel like you've spent time. Go to chat, scroll through the feed, respond to a post, and it's as if you've done something important, passed a level in the game, and you have a new experience. But honestly, what have you actually created? Virtual life gives us the illusion of productivity. We are constantly doing something, reading, commenting, liking, texting. The brain registers activity. There is a feeling, I'm not standing still, I am living, I am moving. And then evening comes, and emptiness. The day has passed, but nothing has changed. Not in my body, not in my relationships, not in my fate. Real activity requires effort, while virtual activity requires only attention. Genuine achievement is pain, doubt, failure, overcoming. And in digital, it's instant gratification, a slight sense of significance. We have replaced the path with imitation. The feeling of movement without direction is like running down an escalator. You seem to be running, you seem to be tired, but you stay where you are. When a case requires silence, patience, long immersion, it seems boring. We lose the skill of long effort, and with it, the joy of genuine accomplishment. Virtual goals get shallow. You no longer want to write a book. You want a post to garner 1,000 views, not to create, but to be liked, not to survive, but to react. Silence as scarcity. We've become afraid to be alone with ourselves. Remember when you could just sit looking out the window as a child? Silently, with nothing to do, no purpose, just being. Today, even a minute without noise seems like an eternity. We're afraid of silence, as if something frightening is hidden in it, from which we need to escape. But silence is not emptiness, it's a mirror, and we've just gotten so bad at looking into it. According to a Harvard University study, most participants would rather receive a small electric shock than be alone with their thoughts for even 15 minutes. That's not irony, it's a diagnosis. We've learned not to hear ourselves, because in this silence you can hear everything. Fatigue, anxiety, inner conflicts. You can't hide in silence. That's why it's so frightening. Silence is the soil in which answers sprout. It's the space where true desires are formed, where there is you, not as a profile, but as a person, alive, complex, real. You are not just a consumer of content. You are the source. There's a world inside you, but to hear it, you have to turn everything else off. And then, in this silence, the most important thing happens: meeting yourself. So how do you bring reality back? Tell me, do you remember the smell of freshly cut grass and the sound of the morning city when it first wakes up? When was the last time you touched something that wasn't glass, plastic, or blue-lit screen? We live in the paradox of being everywhere and not being anywhere. The virtual world has become too convenient, too tempting. It has robbed us of our patience for reality. But still, a person cannot be truly happy, detached from the ground, from the living, because reality is our home, and it can be brought back with small steps. Each one is like a thread that will pull us back out of the digital cocoon. 1. Limit your presence. This isn't about giving up technology. It's about reclaiming your power over time. Carve out hours when you are real. Mornings are for breathing, not for endless scrolling. Evenings are for family or yourself, not the news of other people's lives. Lunch, to taste, not to stare at the screen between chewing. Psychologists say that even 20 minutes a day without your phone reduces anxiety and brings back a sense of control over your life. This is your first anchor in reality. 2. Get back in your body. We are increasingly living above our shoulders, in our heads, in our thoughts, in our screens. But our body is not just a shell. It is a bridge to the present. Feel it. Walk your favorite route. Notice how the air touches your skin. Touch a loved one and stay in that moment. Neurophysiologists say that touch is a powerful source of oxytocin, the hormone of trust and security. Corporeality is not an afterthought. It is a living thing. It is you. 3. Make eye contact. One sincere conversation a day, not to be polite, but to truly hear and be heard. Look into the eyes of your friend, loved one, even a passerby, and remember that in each of us lives a whole universe. Deep contact is therapeutic. It doesn't require filters. It doesn't disappear into the feed. It brings the person back to the person. A heart-to-heart isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. 4. Create with your hands. Mold something. Draw something. Bake bread. Write a letter by hand. Make with your fingers something that you can touch, smell, hold in your hands. Virtual things don't smell. It doesn't leave marks on your fingers. But something you create does. Creating something physical gives you back the feeling of, I can, I am. This is especially important in a world where so much seems illusory and fleeting. Craft, as simple as it is, knits you back into reality. 5. Be alone, for real. Being truly alone is not about isolation. It's about being present with yourself, without distractions, no background, without trying to escape into other people's lives. Just you, silence, and breathing. It's in those moments that you hear what's going on inside of you. It is in solitude that real thoughts are formed. According to research, the brain at rest, without external stimulation, activates areas associated with self-reflection, creativity, and inner wisdom. In other words, when you are silent, you begin to hear yourself. You don't have to turn everything off right away, but try to take one step towards reality today. Take a walk without your phone. Write someone a handwritten letter. Sit with a cup of tea in silence, just looking out the window. These simple actions are like anchors that bring us back to where we can truly feel. Life is not just something on the screen. Life is the smell of coffee in the morning, hand in hand, wind in your face. It is not a notification. It is a moment. And it is already here. The world has not disappeared. It is waiting. It is not so fast, not so bright, but it is real. You can feel again, meet, breathe. You are not lost. You just got distracted. Take a step. Come back. And now a question for you. Tell me, how do you feel it? Have you noticed how the virtual replaces the real? And what are you ready to do to return reality to yourself? If it was important for you to hear this, support us with a like, a subscription, a word. For us, this is more than statistics. This is a sign that you are here, the real you. See you soon, friend. In reality,